From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
On News Hour tonight, NCDC gives update on diphtheria outbreak. 15,060 suspected cases reported in 20 states. Abducted wife, 3 children regain freedom from captivity in Katsina. Police launch manhunt for suspected phone snatchers who stabbed corps member to death in Kaduna. On the foreign scene, aid to enter Gaza after green light from Israel and Egypt. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust TV. I am Ayuba Ila. Thanks for joining. And now the news in details. Nigeria Center for Disease and Prevention Control, NCDC, says 15,060 suspected cases of diphtheria have been detected in the country. The Director General of the NCDC, Dr. Ifedayo Adetifa, said this at the Diphtheria National Briefing on Thursday in Abuja. According to the Director General, as of Thursday, there have been 15,060 reported suspected cases of diphtheria, with 9,478 confirmed cases across 137 local government areas in 20 states, including the Federal Capital Territory. The breakdown by state shows that Kano has the highest number of cases at 7,747, followed by Yobe with 841 cases. He said the data also revealed that the majority of the confirmed cases, 71.5%, were aged between 1 to 14 years, with infants accounting for less than 1% of the cases. In response to the outbreak, Adetifa said that the NCDC had deployed National Rapid Response Teams to the affected states, offering on-site surveillance and response support. He, however, lamented that security challenges had limited accessibility to some locations in some of the affected local government areas. In a similar vein, fresh outbreak of cholera has killed at least 12 persons in last 1 month in Ogun State. The State Commissioner of Health, Tomi Koka, disclosed this while giving an update on the cholera outbreak shortly after a stakeholders' engagement held at the ministry in Abeokuta. Koka explained that the cholera outbreak is being fueled by high level of open defecation, poor waste management and poor water source. To curtail the outbreak, Koka said that the government has begun chlorinating wells in Ijebu North, the local government worst hit by the disease. She said that her ministry is also collaborating with the Ministry of Environment and other relevant ministries, departments and agencies to contain the spread of the disease. Koka advised residents of the state to avoid open defecation, construct affordable toilets and sanitary wells in their homes, warning that the government may seal houses without toilets in the interest of public health. Now, a housewife and 3 girls recently abducted at Kofa and Gidam Mutumdaya in Kusada local government area have regained their freedom. The 4 kidnapped victims regained freedom after payment of 2 million naira ransom contributed by their families. Abdullahi Amadi meets the survivors when they arrived home from the bandits' den. The report.
Kofa village of Kusada local government was thrown into jubilations as 4 kidnapped people, a woman and 3 girls, were freed by bandits. The stories of this woman and 3 young girls are disturbing. The father of this young girl was shot dead in her presence for resisting to be kidnapped. The victims spent between 60 to 90 days in the bandits' den without adequate food, clean water, and other basic necessities.
At first, when the bandits came to our houses, the mission was to abduct our husband. But when they missed him, they went away with me and my daughter. We were chained, beaten, and treated like animals. That's all I can say for now. The story at the bandits' den is horrible, so I will not go there, but I want to thank people for their prayers, which led to our release from our captives. The 90 days I spent with the bandits looks like 90 years to me, but Alhamdulillah, here we are. I don't want to remember the horrible scene I saw when my father resisted to be kidnapped. They shot him and he died on the spot before they whisked me away on motorbikes. It was terrible, my brother.
Banditry is new to residents of Kofa and Gidamutundea. As such, they are appealing to the administration of Governor Dikko Umaru Radda to sustain the current tempo to holistically deal with the problem. This is our village, and we have no other place to call ours other than here. As such, with the support from our governor and security operatives, we will deal with the situation holistically. Don't worry, we know what to do. We were molested by the bandits on that day. Residents are planning to work closely with security operatives to flush out criminals and their collaborators from the area besides engaging in prayers for peace. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Now, on a sad note, a corps member serving in Kaduna has been stabbed to death by the suspected phone snatchers while she was out for jogging on Wednesday morning. The corps member, Charlia Silas from Plateau State, was attacked by the phone robbers at Barnawa area in the metropolis. After stabbing her to death, the attackers made away with her phone. The police public relations officer of the Kaduna State Command, ASP Mansour Hassan, while confirming the incident to Trust TV's Bello Musa, said that the command had launched a manhunt on the killers of the corps member. Residents of Musa local government area of Katsina State have refuted allegations of extrajudicial killings of Fulani people by the vigilantes and proscribed Yansake in the area. On the contrary, they said that peace is gradually returning to Musa local government area since the inception of Dikko Radda's administration. Abdullahi Amadi visited the area and fastened this report.
While reacting to allegations of extrajudicial killings of Fulanis in Musa local government, stakeholders simply said the allegation is false and unfounded. According to them, no member of the proscribed Yansake is operating in the area.
It's really surprising. I don't think so. It has never happened in our area at all. Never. We are law-abiding citizens, and we know what we are able to put in place for a very long time. Yes, that's not so. Yeah.
No. We have respect for lives, and I don't think if there is anybody who believes in the day of judgment that can kill his fellow human beings just like that. It's not in Musa local government, not at all. Similarly, they said the vigilantes who have been operating in the area for the past 40 years are directly under the close supervision of the Nigeria police, as such cannot carry out any attack on anybody without the prior knowledge of the police. Residents are, however, hailing the political will and the establishment of Community Security Watch Corps by Governor Dikko Umaru Radda's administration, which has reduced the frequency of attacks, killings, abductions, and incessant rustling of animals by bandits. They said for the first time since January 2023, they have 45 consecutive days without recording any bandits attack anywhere in Musa local government, and many IDPs have since returned to their communities. As a human rights activist here in Musa local government, we are not aware of that attacks, but I promised to investigate and make our findings public very soon. Security operatives, however, suggested a careful checks to be carried out with a view to fishing out bad eggs among the over 400 vigilantes operating in the area. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Kazana.
In the nation's capital, the Federal Capital Territory has threatened to shut down illegal motor parks operating in the capital city over rising one-chance robberies. The Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, made this known on Thursday during a chat with journalists in his office in Abuja. The minister said a joint task force on cross-border crimes was set up last week to tackle the security menace called one-chance robbery. The ex-Rivers governor also blamed the rising crime in the capital city on illegal motor parks and uncompleted buildings used as dens by criminals. Meanwhile, the Federal Capital Territory Minister Nyesom Wike has rejected the Nigeria Customs Service request for reconsideration over its revoked land by the FCT administration. The minister announced the rejection when the acting Controller General, Adewale Adeniyi, visited him in Abuja on Thursday. Customs was among agencies, organizations and individuals whose plots were revoked by the FCTA for failure to develop their lands. Adeniyi had requested lands to build primary and secondary schools for children of the more than 2,000 customs officers residing in the FCT. On the land for school development, the minister assured the custom boss that it will be reconsidered, but on the condition that the agency will pledge to develop the land within a specific period. Farmers in Benue State are lamenting effects of flooding on their businesses following repeated emergency alerts from relevant authorities. In spite of the early warnings by NIMET of imminent flooding earlier in the year, many riverine farmers decided to test their fate and are now facing the consequences. Jimmy Azande reports.
As at the time of this report, only a few houses in some parts of Makurdi were sacked by flood, though massive farmlands are already consumed by the water disaster.
Government has been already telling us that there is a flood coming, and we did not know. And for now, you can see it. The water is now coming gradually to come and evacuate us. So for now, we are calling on government to come into this our situation and rescue us, because we don't know where we can go. All our farmlands, they are evacuated.
The farmers said they were pre-informed, but the push to survive dried them into the same farmlands that were submerged in the flood of 2022.
I've been told by government that flood is coming this year too. And the day before yesterday, we started stealing this water. As you can see, the water is coming in. All our farms are now buried. If you can turn the other side and see, as many rice are inside water, our cassavas are already buried. We don't know what might happen tomorrow in the next 24 hours because the level of this water coming, we don't understand it. Maybe our houses may be buried inside water, or we don't just know. But what I would tell my people remain around here is to get set and pack their things out before it will be late for us.
But what we are seeing now is above our power. Like me now, even to fish, this water hinder me not to fish as I'm fishing before. I always try so that I will survive with my family. So, as you can see, you will see the water everywhere. No way. Even my canoe, the water have taken it away. I don't have anything to move inside the water again.
The state government has taken proactive measures to mitigate the impact of flooding this year, though at the moment, the volume of water is not anywhere near the terrible experiences of 2012 and 2022. Jimmy Azande, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 8 new chief executive officers for parastatals and agencies under the Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation. Those appointed are Lanre Issa Onulu, Director General, National Orientation Agency; Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, Director General, Nigeria Television Authority (NTA); Mohammed Bulama, Director General, Federal Road Radio Corporation of Nigeria; and Charles Ebwebu, Director General of the National Broadcasting Commission (NBC). Others are Jibrin Baba Ndachi, Director General, Voice of Nigeria; Lekan Fadolapo, Director General, Advertising Regulatory Council of Nigeria; Ali Muhammad Ali, Managing Director, News Agency of Nigeria; and Dili Ezuoga, Executive Secretary, Nigerian Press Council. The President also appointed Muhammad Abu Ibrahim to serve as the Executive Secretary and the Chief Executive Officer of the National Agricultural Development Fund. You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up shortly. Can entrepreneurship end unemployment in Nigeria? Find out more after the break. Join us again. This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
As a demonstration of its commitment to provide sustained access to basic healthcare for all Nigerians, the Federal Government of Nigeria, through the National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA, has established the Basic Healthcare Provision Fund, BHCPF. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund is designed to deploy Operations Fund directly to primary healthcare facilities in every political ward nationwide to ensure the availability of quality PHC services to all Nigerians, irrespective of where they live or work. The Basic Healthcare Provision Fund guarantees 24 hours availability of midwives, other health workers, and health supplies in at least one PHC in every political ward. Ask from your local government health department for the BHCPF PHC in your ward to get more information and benefit from the services. Think access to healthcare for all. Think universal health coverage. Think Basic Healthcare Provision Fund. This message is from the Federal Ministry of Health and National Primary Healthcare Development Agency, NPHCDA. For further inquiries, call the NPHCDA toll-free number 7722 or visit www.nphcda.gov.ng.
There's a problem in Nigeria. Rising unemployment is leading to crime, death, and homelessness.
I graduated since 2020. There's no work. There's nothing.
With no jobs, no money, and no food, many young people are frustrated.
There are many young youths out there looking for what to do. But when you come to Nigeria, you will see old people doing the work that young people should do.
My own local government itself, we don't have anybody in this community that is working there.
Lost and forgotten in slums, the echoes of their worries haunt the seat of power. Where is their government?
This village is like we are inside the city, and our boys are running up and down, no work.
What is the truth behind Nigeria's unemployment statistic? Beyond the affluence of Abuja's wealthy 1% lies the grief of the 99% struggling to earn a living.
Sounds like you are disappointed with the current lot.
We are outside, me and you. Regardless, we could have done better.
That you don't have to sacrifice your conviction. We cannot settle for what is bad.
I sacked a governor because of misappropriating 300,000 naira.
The clamor by the SCSC was a unitary form of government. This doesn't go well with Savannah. So when we said we wanted self-government for Nigerian NTCs. So you count me out.
What you call goal, aims and directives. But the issue of joining politics simply because you want to be given job or to be given contract.
Removing the assumptions, the foundations of their theories, and at the end of it, each and every one of them seems to surprise.
I was posted to Guachuku. My job was to go from community to community, educating the people how to improve themselves. Government will come to help you.
Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. A look at the top stories again. NCDC gives update on diphtheria outbreak. 5,060 suspected cases reported in 20 states. Abducted wife, 3 children regain freedom from captivity in Katsina. In other news, the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, Idowu Owohunwa, has ordered the immediate removal of the divisional police officer in the Miran area of the Alimosho local government area of the state for what the police termed leadership dereliction and supervisory ineptitude. According to a statement by the police spokesperson in Lagos, Benjamin Hundein, aside the DPO, all the officers involved in an alleged extortion of a phone dealer have been identified and are currently at the command headquarters where their orderly room trial has commenced. The disciplinary action by the police followed report of alleged extortion of the sum of 200,000 naira from a phone dealer by police officers from the Miran police station. According to reports, the officers detained the phone dealer and his brother for not providing an identity card or the receipt for the iPhones found with his brother. They were reportedly detained for alleged stealing and armed robbery until they negotiated with their freedom with the sum of 200,000 naira, which they paid to the police in cash. The Osun State Police Command has arrested suspected car and motorcycle snatchers in the state. 2 cars and 5 Bajaj motorcycles were recovered from the suspect. Hamid Oebade reports.
Police said the suspect robbed a resident of Ilesha and snatched his Camry car at a shop where he went to procure drugs for his sick daughter. The suspects were arrested at different locations in Ondo and Oyo states. 2 unregistered cars, a red Toyota Camry and a black Toyota Corolla, were recovered from them. They confessed to the crime. As my friend threw the car key to me, I started the car as they were shouting, "Thieves, thieves." We just drove off. Police later tracked the phones we stole from the shop and they arrested us. I entered the shop with my friends and pretended as if we wanted to buy drugs. I took the car key and I gave it to my friend. I then took their phones. They started shouting, "Thieves, thieves." We quickly jumped into the car and drove off. Police also arrested 4 suspects in Lagos for allegedly snatching Bajaj motorcycles in Ede, Osun State. Stolen motorcycles were recovered from the suspect and they confessed to the crime.
But when we carry the Okada go Lagos. But within Lagos, police, the time when he came, police arrest us. We tell them say the motorcycle de Lagos.
The police public relations officers for Osun State Police Command, Yemisi Okpalola, said the suspect will be charged to court after investigation.
There are men that came out with guns at the gunpoint, which dispossessed him of his vehicle and also the money that was with him, a lot of money that was with him. And he came quickly to the police to report. Immediately, the police swung into action and it led to the arrest of these 10 criminals.
Police assured residents of safety of their lives and properties in Osho State. Amid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Osogbo.
Reactions are beginning to trail the plan by the President Bola Tinubu government to commit ministers to the signing of what it called performance bond as a way of extracting their commitment to governance accountability. While some Nigerians see the move as a step in the right direction, a former minister of the Federal Republic says it is reactionary and counterproductive as it will promote hypocrisy and favoritism in its application. Shafiu Suleiman reports.
The President Bola Tinubu administration is working towards committing cabinet members to sign a performance bond with a view to ensuring governance accountability. To these Nigerians, the decision is apt considering the need for a result-oriented cabinet that should deliver governance deliverables to the people.
Because if the moment you didn't ask your minister, their performance, they didn't then do the money you give to them, the activities that like the money you give to them to do work, and they didn't do the work and they didn't do anything, our president will start blaming. Because we the youth are going through a lot of suffering in Nigeria. So for me, if President Bola Tinubu will ask the minister the thing, it will be good.
I see Tinubu as not like other presidents. He has this power, he has this influence. So him selecting his ministers, he already knows he can speak to them for bringing accountability. So you can't just say they won't be able to give account of their positions. So Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I believe he would be able to do his work. He would be able to hold his ministers accountable.
A former minister in the former administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, Solomon Dalong, however, says signing a performance bond by the new ministers is just reactionary and counterproductive.
What the government is doing now is signing a contract after it has been implemented 10%. And then it is now trying to commit the contractor to signing a document. President Muhammadu Buhari, when he appointed us in 2015, immediately after inauguration, we were committed to a very defined and a clear policy direction of the government.
While disputing the notion that the immediate past administration was not keen on tracking governance accountability, Dalong says what is needed by the current administration is an independent assessment committee to track, assess and report to the cabinet members.
It's not just signing a performance bond. He needs to set up project monitoring committee of credible Nigerians who will now follow up all projects approved and bring reports to him different from what the ministers will be reporting in council.
The cabinet is central to the implementation of the government agenda and policies in the face of growing concerns among citizens on the need to have a transparent and accountable leadership that is sensitive to the demands of the people. Shafiu Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Stakeholders in the education sector are urging Nigerian youth to embrace entrepreneurship as a solution to the pressing issue of unemployment in the country. This, according to them, will boost efforts geared towards meeting the demands of the 21st century job market. Habibat Ajayi reports.
The call to embrace entrepreneurship was promoted by the high level of unemployment in Nigeria, with countless graduates struggling to secure traditional white-collar jobs. Despite the federal government's initiatives aimed at empowering the youth, the unemployment rates continue to rise.
Currently, we are faced with a very cumbersome reality, which is hunger and starvation in the land. But if you look at it very critical, I think as Nigerians, we also have various responsibilities to do for us to get a better economy. You agree with me that in recent days, we have an exchange rate of the dollar going for 1,100 and so on. Please, I think it is not just for a one man saddled with this responsibility to control this process. It is our responsibility as Nigerians, with that theme that is there, to redirect our mindset and get it right for us to have national economic growth.
Stakeholders want the youth to shift their focus toward fostering economic growth and contributing to national development.
Most of the negative issues we have in the society around youth, I think it's because of lack of jobs, lack of a future. Many youth don't see a future. And while there are active steps by various agencies of government, by various NGOs and various other bodies, there's also the need to concurrently start doing things that will create those jobs.
In the last few months, in the last few years, we've been able to roll out youths without job, and we've been able to set them on what is called a call to entrepreneurship. And in that call to entrepreneurship, we've been able to let them understand what it is to stand on their own, to have a kickstart, and with little support of money to get them into starting up those businesses and ideas in making them see who they are, identify your potentials, know the things you can do.
The NAS Senate President expressed confidence in the current administration's ability to transform Nigeria into a better nation. Abibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Talking about inflation, as price of Irish potato continues to soar in Jos, the Plateau State capital, the crop is becoming a scarce item in various markets in the state. Dealers and traders of the product say that the cost of Irish potato has forced many of them to switch to selling sweet potato. Trust TV's Ado Musa, who visited some of the markets, reports that the crop is not only scarce within the state capital, but even at the farming communities.
Virtually all markets are flooded by sweet potatoes due to the scarcity of the Irish potato in the state. It is not common to experience scarcity of Irish potatoes in Jos, especially because the state is one of the highest cultivators of the crop in Nigeria. During the rainy season, mostly between June and September, many households in the state and beyond buy potato in large quantities because of its availability and affordability. However, this year, many people cannot even afford it. Some of the dealers and traders explain why the crop is scarce in the state.
The reason why Irish potato is scarce is because if you look at the price of fertilizer, farmers purchase fertilizer at the rate of 17,500, 18,000 naira to 20,000. So it must affect the production of Irish potatoes. And another factor is the coexistence of conflict within the places where Irish potato is being farmed.
Irish potato is really scarce in Jos because farmers have not cultivated the product. They have no money to invest. The fertilizer, which is one of the ingredients of farming, is very expensive. The price of pesticides has also gone higher. Youth are not longer going to the farm, and that is why crime is everywhere now. On the flip side, potato dealers and traders are experiencing low patronage in the market due to the hike in price of the commodity, which has drastically affected their income.
We normally purchase about 300 bags, but right now you hardly sell 2 on daily basis because of the expensiveness of it. Because there is no Irish potatoes here, there is nothing you can do about it.
Prior to the economic hardship, I used to bring 10 bags of potato, but now I cannot bring 5 bags because there is low patronage. I have been here since morning. I haven't sold anything. Nobody has come to price the potato because there is no money in the town. At the end of the day, making Irish potatoes affordable will depend on two factors. Stakeholders in the various markets said, if farm inputs are affordable and peace is restored around the farming communities, Irish potato can once more be sufficiently cultivated. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Time now to take a break. We'll be back shortly with more news. Join us again.
It was never a consensus. We did all our best. You see, in politics, you give your contribution to the best of your ability.
If you want, I'll forward to you this statement. You go to this bank and verify.
But there are people who say not spending money is not a virtue
in itself. Let me finish.
But there's so much to be done.
Let me finish. Now, you don't allow me to explain myself.
The recent development shows abductions are now a factor of informants embedded in community.
It's not about the people of Katsina to say that, no, during my administration I was able to stop insecurity. No, it's about collective responsibility for all of us.
And what we should ask ourselves is not what has been seen, is the life better? Are there more people who are unemployed who are not become employed? Is the level of corruption has gone down? Is there inclusion? All those issues.
We're actually a gas country with associated oil. Our focus has always been on oil, that we have never paid attention, significant attention to gas.
To do it effectively, we need to have honest conversation with ourselves. Government needs to come down from its high horse and communicate with the people and build trust.
There must be a solution. We cannot continue this way. They must come back to the table and agree. So whose child will do deny education? All these children that sit for job, they want to go to higher institutions.
But just a short while ago you were saying that why bring 10 children when you cannot cater for them? So why bring more universities when you cannot cater for the existing?
Welcome back. You're watching the News Hour on Trust TV. Now to some more stories. BSWEEP, a non-governmental organization which aims to uplift the status of women and complement the efforts of government, has solicited the support of Trust TV to enable it meet its objective. The group stated this while on a courtesy call on the Chief Operating Officer of the station, Ibrahim Shehu, in Abuja. Abdurrahman Umar was there and now reports.
Led by the CEO of the group and former First Lady of Bauchi State, Hadiza M. Abubakar, the Bauchi Sustainable Women Economic Empowerment and Peace Initiative, also known as BSWEEP, was received by the Chief Operating Officer of Trust TV, Ibrahim Shehu, represented by the Trust TV Head of Documentary and Features, Amina Yuguda.
We're very interested in collaborating and partnering with, especially for women at the grassroots, the rural women. We know that they're a very important group for development of any society. Any country that wants to develop has to make sure that the girl child and women have the necessary tools to be able to help not just their families, but the society at large.
The CEO of BSWEEP, Hadiza Abubakar, on her part, said the visit is to extend a partnership deal to Media Trust Group for the purpose of achieving the objectives of the group.
Our purpose of visit here is to extend a hand of partnership, to seek for the cooperation, for the collaboration and assistance of Media Group in the cause of for the achievement of our programs and activities. Media is a key stakeholder in impacting on the public. One of their mandates is to inform, to educate, and to entertain the public. So we believe we can use that platform for them to amplify our activities, and we can get a platform where we can do our programs and activities for the benefit of our women and children.
She further stated, at a time when women in Nigeria need all the support they can get, BSWEEP is out to extend their support to as many women as possible to enable them cope with the challenges of contemporary Nigeria.
The pressing issue with women, number one, is education and then skills training. We are focusing to see that we empower our women by providing them with the literacy, with the education, with the skills that will improve their productivity and income.
High point of the visit was a tour of the operational facilities of Trust TV. Abdurrahman Umar, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Now, a Jos poultry farmer, Ikenna Henry, disagrees with the lifting of ban on the access of dollar from the Central Bank of Nigeria to import certain items into the country, saying that it will impact local production, including poultry products. The Apex Bank on October 12 lifted the foreign exchange restrictions it placed on importers of 43 items with 8 years ago. The report.
In a circular in June 2015, the CBN published a list of imported goods and services that will not be eligible for foreign exchange in the Nigerian foreign currency market in order to encourage local production in the country. However, on October 12, 2013, the CBN's Director of Corporate Communications, Isa Abdulmumin, issued a statement that the government has lifted ban on dollar access to import the items, explaining that the lifting of the ban restriction is a significant change to the foreign exchange market policy. Experts and other business owners in Nigeria are arguing that the development is likely to have negative effects on the local content. But this Jos poultry farmer says the lifting of the ban is a blessing to local producers.
To me as a farmer, I see it as a progress in another way around, because on the other side is going to favor the farmers, being that when I started the poultry farm as far back as 2010/2015, when the government policy was so normal, like the big companies who are into brewery and poultry making of poultry feeds and in additives, government gives them waivers to import their products. When they import it, there's a kind of subsidy they give to the companies, whereby the price of the commodities will come at a lower price. It will now make us, the local farmers, we can be able to go into the market and access the local product at cheaper rates.
Asking if dollar is given to importers to import eggs will have negative impact on them. He said local market is well positioned to compete.
Negative effect, because the market is a competitive one. I hope you get me. Even as far back as 2012, 13, 14, up to 15, when farmers were making a lot of profits, those commodities were being imported, and we were also comfortable doing our business. We also export. If I am to tell you, we export egg all the way from Jos here to Niger Republic, Chad, Cameroon, even Central African Republic. I hope you understand me. But for high cost of commodity in the market and low patronage due to maybe a kind of insecurity and high cost of production is what has affected the farmers.
Although the government is yet to give further information on whether or not all the listed items will henceforward be imported, some experts still believe that lifting of the ban will have negative consequences on local manufacturers in the country. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
Similarly, mixed reactions continue to trail the Central Bank of Nigeria's lifting of the restriction of the foreign exchange for the importation of 43 items. Many people are, however, not fully conversant with the items and the list and what the policy actually entails. Some Bauchi residents fall into this category and need explicit information to correct some misconceptions on the matter. Trust TV's Adamu Imam reports.
The items restricted in 2018 from being sourced by foreign exchange from the CBN were not banned from being imported. Some Nigerians are yet to understand this, and it reflects in their responses to the policy reversal. If they can import it from outside to sell alone, That will not be favorable for everyone to bear witness of the hardship we are facing, especially regarding foodstuff. But if they can combine with the local food items produced at home, even the price will come down. We are hoping to see that again. We had rumors going back and front that Nigerian sea borders are open without the land border to allow importation of listed items. It's not what we expected. But notwithstanding, it is a good news. Experts say it is important to note that these 42 import commodities were not forbidden for importation by the federal government. Rather, the revised policy meant that importers will not be able to buy foreign currencies from the official windows to pay their suppliers abroad.
You understand? There's a policy, I feel, that is trying to allow our local production to rise. But you are not restricted. You feel you have the opportunity to buy forex and get goods imported down to the country to sell. But when you analyze and discover that if you buy, it's still higher against what you have at home, then you will be discouraged in buying the forex and also importing goods down to the country.
Now that the policy has been reversed, importers of goods on the list no longer restricted to looking for forex from the parallel market to pay for their imported goods and services. The CBN believes that the move will help weaken the soaring parallel market exchange rate and facilitate the unification of the forex market with flexible and transparent pricing. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
A part of the popular Wat market in the heart of Calabar was completely burned by an early morning fire on Thursday. Affected traders blamed dangling wires from electricity poles as the possible cause of the unfortunate fire incident. One of the affected traders, Oji Uchenna, said that 7 shops on the Hewett Street axis of the ancient market were razed with stocked up goods. According to him, over 25 million naira worth of goods have been lost to the fire. Many of the affected traders and shop owners, as well as their sympathizers, were seen clearing debris and struggling to evacuate some of the salvaged items. Special advisor to the state governor on general duties, Ekpenyo Akiba, who was on the spot to inspect extent of the damage, sympathized with the affected traders. He advised the leaders of the traders to compile the names of the affected traders to enable State Emergency Management Agency SEMA to see how to ameliorate the impact of the losses.
There'll be a lot of wrong connections, and if you look around, the electrification lines are very close to the shops. I intend to engage with the Ministry of Power, interface with the power holding to see how they can come to the area and rearrange the lines, the electricity lines. And I want to also immediately gather their statistics and communicate to the DG SEMA in the states to see what government can immediately do to assist them.
Now, on political matters, as the people of Imo State prepare to elect another governor that will govern the state for the next 4 years, residents of the state have been urged to use their vote judiciously and end the era of bad governance and insecurity that has continued to bedevil the state. The governor of Zamfara State, Dauda Lawal, stated this in Owerri, the state capital, while addressing thousands of residents who turned up for the PDP rally in the state.
Speaking on the current ills bedeviling the state and the nation at large, Governor Dauda Lawal urges residents of the state to use their votes to reject the continuity of the anomalies they are faced with.
We have seen what happened in 8 years, and we're still going through the same or even worse than what happened in the past 8 years. Is that not true? What is the price of food right now? What is the dollar rate right now? Thank you, you know better, because you're feeling it, we're all feeling it. And we don't want that to continue. So we went to make significant progress here and change things for the better. And the only way you can do it is come November, you come out en masse and vote for PDP.
The governors of Edo, Enugu and other key stakeholders stated that the state under the current administration had lost its glory days and there is no point re-electing such an underperforming team, urging the people of Imo State to end the menace of insecurity by electing a people-oriented leader.
Peace and security. Inclusive economic development. Sustained prosperity. Also one man who is capable of leading us to Douglas House. Everyone knows them. You know they know how to write results. This one.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, equally asked Imo people to jettison the era of suffering in silence by making their voice heard on November 11th.
Imo people, Imolites, stand up! Let's take back our state from the foreigner. What assurance we want to give you is that myself and George, we are going to live in Imo State to govern Imo State.
The governorship election in Imo State is scheduled for November 11th this year. At Jibade Praise, Trust TV News, Owerri.
The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, says it has noted the appearance of fuel queues in some parts of Lagos and a few other locations around the country. The retail management of the NNPCL, in a statement on Thursday, said that the queues are due to reduced depot loadout in Apapa, Lagos, over a few days. It added that the root cause of the queues has since been addressed. The NNPC, however, advised motorists to desist from panic buying as distribution will normalize over the next couple of days. Now time to take a look at business updates with Chiamaka Nwafo.
The exchange rate between the naira and the dollar hit an all-time low of 999 naira to the dollar during the trading on Thursday. This is according to intra-trading data from the FMDQ, where Forex is sold officially via the NAFEM. Meanwhile, early afternoon trading on the black market, P2P, where Forex is traded unofficially via cryptocurrency, indicates the exchange rate is being quoted for 1,152 naira to the dollar, suggesting the exchange rate is continuing with its steady decline. As of Tuesday, the naira had plummeted to 1,100 naira to the dollar on the parallel market, while it fell to 790 naira to the dollar on the official market. The South African rand was weaker in early trade on Thursday on soaring U.S. Treasury yields ahead of a speech by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell. At 07:33 GMT, the rand traded at 19.0775 against the dollar, about 0.5% weaker than its previous close. U.S. Treasury yields hit 16 highs on Wednesday, boosted by expectations that the Fed would keep interest rates higher for longer. The rand often takes its cues from global factors such as U.S. monetary policy in addition to local factors. Shares on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange opened lower, with the blue chip top 40 index down about 0.9%. South Africa's benchmark 2030 government bond was weaker in early deals, with the yield up 13.5 basis points to 10.960%. And that's it on Business News. I am Chiamaka Wafo.
On the foreign scene, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has agreed to open the Rafah crossing into Gaza to allow a first batch of around 20 humanitarian aid trucks through, U.S. President Joe Biden said Wednesday. The shipment will likely not cross until Friday, as the road at the crossing needed repairs, Biden said. The first 20 trucks will be a test of a system for distributing aid without allowing the Palestinian militant organization Hamas, which controls Gaza, to benefit, the U.S. president said. Now, the United Nations is set to distribute aid on the Gaza side of the border. He added that the 20 trucks represented a first tranche, but 150 or something trucks are waiting in total. Biden had been due to meet Sisi on Wednesday at a 4-day summit in Jordan, but it was cancelled after a deadly strike on a Gaza hospital that caused anger across the Arab world. He said that he instead talked to Sisi from Air Force One for about half an hour. Let's now take a look at sports updates put together by Emmanuel Fashemi.
The manager of the Italian Serie A champion, Napoli, Rudi Garcia, has admitted that the club will miss the services of the injured Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen. Osimhen sustained a hamstring injury during the international friendly between Nigeria's Super Eagles and the Green Falcons of Saudi Arabia. He was unable to finish the game and also missed the second friendly game against Mambas of Mozambique on Monday. After the MRI scan, it was confirmed that Osimhen will be out for a month. Garcia, while reacting on the situation, said the club will miss his contribution to the team, adding that they will have to get a replacement for him. Osimhen has scored 65 goals and 15 assists in 111 games for Napoli. Still on football, Barcelona president Joan Laporta has been charged with suspected bribery over referee payments. According to the Spanish news agency EFE, the payments were made to the companies linked to the former vice president of the refereeing committee, Jose Maria Enriquez Negreira. The charges relate to Laporta's first spell in charge at Barcelona between 2003 and 2010 after a judge ruled the latter years of that tenure should not be time barred. Laporte, who returned to the presidency for a second time in 2021, was not initially named as a defendant when charges for alleged bribery were filed against Barca in September. Former President Josep Maria Bartomeu and Sandro Rosell, as well as Negreira and his son Javier Enriquez Romero, were listed among the accused. And that is it on sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimi.
And that wraps up the news hour for tonight. In case you've missed, you can always catch up across all our social media platforms and also on our YouTube live stream. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thanks for watching.
From the Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.